Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. All right, we got a good review for you today. We're going to be reviewing Carnage number 2, and got a couple things to get to before we get into the review. First off, I do want to let you guys know about my 100 subscriber giveaway. When we hit 100 subscribers, we're going to be giving away this book. It's the Suicide Squad #1, which is the first full team appearance of Deadshot, Deathstroke, Harley Quinn, Duella Dent, and the Black Manta. And all you have to do to enter to win is like, comment, and subscribe below, and that's going to enter you to win. All right, and when we hit 100 subscribers, we'll be giving the book away. All right, let's get right on into this review. Now, the next thing that I do want to do before we dive on into the book is we always want to shout out the creative team on the book. So we have the writer is Ram V. The art is done by Francesco Manna. The colors are Dijo Lima, and the lettering is done by VC's Joe Sabino. And the cover artist is Kendrick Lim. Of this really sweet cover, if you guys saw, it's just, that is an amazing cover of Carnage there. And so let's get on into the issue. Now, remember, if you haven't watched one of my reviews before, we are going to go heavy into spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled for Carnage #2, I'm sorry, but we're going to get dived right on into there. So that's your warning. All right. Now, we get started on the first page here with a kind of a preview to bring us up to date. And that says, years ago, the Venom symbiote spawned, and its offspring bonded to serial killer Cletus Cassidy. Imbued with incredible strength, speed, endurance, and powers similar to those of the Amazing Spider-Man, Cassidy and his extraterrestrial other share a unique bond and have long terrorized the Marvel Universe as Carnage. After separating from its host, the Carnage symbiote approached the serial killer, the Artist, who attracted Carnage's attention with a series of ritualistic murders, hoping to bond with the alien. But Carnage isn't interested. Instead, it led the Artist to a warehouse where the symbiote had trapped Hydro Man. After breaking him out of prison, Detective John Shade arrived on scene, just as Carnage began painfully pulling Hydro Man apart, molecule by molecule. But what is the creature truly after? And I found out in this issue that I did guess where they were going with this kind of, so a little spoiler ahead of time. All right, this Carnage says he's talking to Hydro Man, who he has held captive in kind of a web of carnage tendrils, basically, right? He says, I learned this from Cletus. The fact that serial killers often have a fascination with taking something of their victims, a trophy. Is this true, Kenneth? Do you have trophies? Kenneth says, and this is the serial killer. Kenneth says, I take pictures before and after, a memory of their transformation. And we see here that basically Hydro Man is begging for his life, and Carnage isn't like he's like, no, I'm gonna kill you and take a part of you as my own. And so he kills Hydro Man, but bonds with a part of Hydro Man, somehow like stealing his power, right? And then in comes John Shade, Detective Jonathan Shade, who's been hunting the serial killer, and he spots the serial killer and Carnage and Hydro Man and the whole situation, and he's just like, runs in guns blazing. And Carnage's reaction to this is he says, "Oh, how curious, how curious. Look upon this man, Kenneth, this man who saw certain doom ahead and still chose to be transformed by it in pursuit of a greater desire, to destroy you, a commitment to his endeavor that is worthy of our admiration, don't you think? Not so fast, my friend. Kenneth here has much to learn, and you and I are on a similar journey. We're both of us trying to see where the limits truly lie, aren't we? Look at what you've done to yourself. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Your body is falling apart in the wake of all this energy expelled from Hydro Man. Survive. Here, this should help you pull yourself together. If you truly want all that you pursue, show me just how far you are willing to go." And we see the reveal of a new Carnage. Carnage gives a part of himself to Jonathan Slater, and so now Jonathan Slater is powered up. And you'll see here in another panel that I'm going to show you guys that he's, yeah, like I said, full spoilers. All right. And then so we fast forward 2 days to Jonathan Shade waking up in the hospital, and his best friend Booth shows up, who's like his detective partner, if you will. And he's like, it's okay, you're safe now, you're in the hospital. Do you remember anything about what happened when you were knocked unconscious by Carnage? And he's like, "No, man, I don't remember a thing. Everything's fuzzy right now. It's kind of crazy." Booth's like, "All right, well, just take it easy for a while, get some rest." Leaves him at the hospital. He's there for a little while. Then he kind of gets up. He's like, "Man, I've been in a coma for 2 weeks." He's kind of thinking about some of the stuff that's gone on, all the crime scenes and stuff from the previous episode. And we see here he's looking at himself in the mirror, and he kind of pulls his hospital gown to the side, and you see that he's got all this like Carnage trails like inside of him. And then we get this really cool paneling where he's basically tripping out, and like all of the different Carnage, because like he apparently got a lot of Carnage memories as well, so he's getting all these different visions of different Carnage memories, a lot of Cletus Cassidy, obviously. So now he basically has lived the life of Cletus Cassidy up to the point. And so then the nurse comes in to check on him, and he's gone. He's jumped out the window. She's like, she calls security, and she's like, "I think he jumped out the window." And this was the panel where you kind of get a full reveal that he definitely has some sort of powers here, and he's I'll try to get it close so you can see that specific panel right there. As you can see, he's kind of looking over the city on a rooftop like a superhero would, right? With the moon behind him and everything, looking cool. And he's got some Carnage stuff going on. Obviously, he doesn't have any sort of suit yet or anything. He's just got the hospital gear on, basically. And some of these pages too, I'll say this, some of these pages I can't really show you. It's like pretty bloody. Like I wouldn't want to get striked or anything. I don't know. So if you're into that, there's some bloody stuff here. Because Hydro Man's dead now. And so Kenneth, the serial killer that Carnage doesn't want to bond with, he's covered in blood. And he's like, what did you mean when you said to that detective, you and I are on a similar journey? And Carnage says, why, Kenneth? Do I sense a hint of jealousy? If anything, my wayward pup, you should be flattered. It is for you that he mangles himself. So don't you see? You are his dark mirror. He looks into the glass, hoping to see himself, and all he sees is you, and he loathes himself for it. I know this all too well. In that pursuit, he and I are together. All I've done is give your detective the ability to reach through the glass. Now, he knows he has all that he needs to overcome you. And that knowledge will change him forever. Kenneth says, so you spur him on? You give him a piece of yourself so he can destroy me? Carnage says, no. To destroy? No. To transform. Look at what you do, Kenneth. You spend all your time seeking beauty in the transformation of your victims. But you remain the same old, useless, whiny little piece of garbage that you were to your father. Are you not tired of it? Perhaps I expect too much. Maybe I've been unfair in dragging you into my journey. Kenneth says, no, please, no. Don't leave. I want to understand. I want to be worthy. Carnage says, maybe there is time yet for one more ride along. Will you come with me to witness my next kill? And then we see Shade and his best friend. Shade's kind of actually shown up to Booth's apartment, right? And and he's going through his stuff, and Booth's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I figured you were the kind of detective that took your work home. And so he's already like picked out a bunch of the pictures from the crime scene, and he's like, it was Hydro Man. And he's like, who? And he goes, the blood you found at the scene, that was Hydro Man. There was a symbiote there that said his name. That's why there was so much water. And Booth says, I thought you didn't remember what happened. And Shade says, it's all coming back to me now, and then some. Yeah, well, this Hydro Man, excuse me. And then Booth says, yeah, well, this Hydro Man is some top secret classified clearance level Omega. They're happy for us to keep looking for the artist, but the blood trail's gone cold. And so they kind of talk, and they're basically Shade reveals to him that he knows a lot more information. He's like, how'd you know all this? And he's like, Shade says, you're not listening to me, Booth. The symbiote is running the show now. If we find it, we'll find our guy. And the symbiote is trying to find a way to change, to alter itself, to become something else, to become something more. Hydro Man was just the first. Booth says, the first? And Shade says, we've got a serial killer symbiote on our hands. And it's going after supers who have powers that it wants. This is our to be continued panel. We see Spot being hunted by Carnage. So not a good day for Carnage there. Yeah, I mean, definitely issue 2 has turned it around for me. We've got a protagonist with Jonathan Shade. He's a detective, and he's got a buddy named Booth, and it seems like they're kind of setting up some characters and a universe, and I'm curious to see what kind of powers that Shade has, what kind of powers Carnage has given him. Obviously, I guess like Carnage is still the bad guy, or is Shade now Carnage and he's the protagonist of the series? I can't quite tell right now because they're going both stories, but so far it's picked up. It's definitely a good read. I give it a thumbs up. I mean, it's a little horror vibes. There's some blood and gore in there, so probably not for the kiddos. But if you're into a little bit more of an adult story and stuff, yeah, definitely thumbs up. Shoot, yeah, do I have anything else? Yeah, hey, like, comment, subscribe for your chance to win the Suicide Squad #1. And we'll be giving that away pretty soon when we hit 100 subscribers. And if you like this kind of content and you want to help support me, hey man, click the link below and shop on my eBay store. All right, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, okay?